Wow. So, hello everyone. So, please write it in the comments where you're tuning in from. Welcome everyone. Hello Saga family. I'm My name is Sasha. I'm so happy to be here today with all the people who are on the call. So, I see feedback. Okay, New York, UK, Chicago, New Year, Alabama. Okay, so Croatia. Oh, that's cool. So Quebec, French, Mallorca, Portugal, UK, Wales. Okay, now everyone is coming in. That's great. So I'm super blessed. Everyone, a happy New Year 2026. I can just say this will be an epic year if you, I think, prepare everything in the right way. And therefore, I think there's nobody better than the next our speaker for today, which is the best trainer in network marketing, also a great friend, and always an inspiration for the whole industry. So I am super blessed and thankful that Mr. Frazer, the legend Brooks, is in this call today and
Mhm.
gives us some wisdom and some, maybe for some of you, some kick in the ass to get started because we already have the 7th of January and we should not wait until July to get started with our business. Because this year
Mhm.
something will change. So, Fraser, thank you for being here and put
Ah.
some comments and fire emojis in the chat to say hello to Fraser.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks so much, mate. I really do. I really do appreciate it. And hey, happy New Year, everyone. I hope you guys are all doing amazing. You know what? It's funny, right? We're on day 7 of 365, which is 2% of the year. How many of you guys have ever ran the 100-meter race? Like when you were in school, just drop a one. If you've ever ran the 100-meter race when you were like a kid, you were in school, maybe you did it as like parents, a parents thing, when your kids go to school and you watch them, like parent sports days and you do it. Imagine that everybody else started at the 2-meter line and you had to start at the start line. How would you feel? Wouldn't feel fair, right? Wouldn't feel fair that, oh, whoa, 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 everyone's starting 2 meters ahead of me. Why? Well, you decided not to show up until the seventh day of the year. Same thing applies. So guess what's going to happen? On day 11, they're at the 3 meter line. You're at the start line. Day 14, 15, guess what? You're on the start line. They're on the 4 meter line. Like the longer you wait, the bigger the advantage everyone else gets. And the bigger the advantage everyone else gets, the further behind you can get as well. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because if you start today, knowing that everyone else is going to probably start on the 15th, 16th, 17th, somewhere around there, because of the way the calendar is, they'll probably start on Monday or the following Monday, so the 12th or the 19th. If you start now, you're already going to be a couple of meters ahead of everyone else. And it's so important to take full advantage of that. It feels like, oh, it's only a couple of meters. Go and ask all the people who raced against Usain Bolt if they just had a couple more meters, would they have taken it? They all would have said, yeah, I'll take any advantage. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna share my iPad with you guys. I always say share my screen, but I haven't got a whiteboard anymore. I have a whiteboard, it's in the other room, but like I did a survey, right? This is kind of wild. I did a survey and I asked people, do they prefer the whiteboard behind me or do they prefer the iPad where I can just write things on? And almost everyone said they preferred the iPad, which was I was actually not expecting it. So we're staying with the iPad. I love it. All right. So 2026, big year ahead. Why? Network marketing goes in 4 year cycles, right? So 4 years, 4 years, 4 years, 4 years, 4 years, and so on and so forth. 4 year cycles. And it's interesting because I feel that the end of COVID being like around 2022 till 2026 was one cycle. I feel like 2018 to 2022 was one cycle. Like if you actually go back in network marketing to, let's just get rid of this, 4 year cycles. If you go back to in network marketing, if you look at like the year 2018, things were good. Like things were like, sorry, 2019, sorry, it's 2019, 18, sorry, 20, 21, 22, right? So if you look at 2019, things were good. They were solid. Things were growing. Company events were crushing it. The energy was high. People knew to use social media, but they were still doing some of the in-person stuff. Bang, 2020 came. COVID hit. Company records were made and broken over and over and over again. All-time highs, completely crushed. But networkers got worse. It's known as like the leadership gap or the skill gap, where people were making this much, but they were worthy of this much. And eventually that band snaps and it all comes crashing down, right? So 2020, COVID happens. 2021, COVID happens. Bit of 2022, COVID happens. And the end part of 2022 was difficult. All right. Then we've gone 2022 to 2025, right? 22, 23, 24, 25 has been tough. Has been tough. People aren't wanting to go to presentations anymore. They want to leverage social media. They want to leverage AI. They want to leverage Saga, of course. They don't want to go to events. They want to get the notes of people. They get tired of Zoom calls. And in this window, something interesting happened. It's the first time that I would say, and this is me saying it from a generic point of view, but you guys can drop a two in the chat if you believe in this. This is the first window then where people started to feel burnt out with social media. People started being like, I'm a bit tired of posting on social media. I'm a bit tired of showing up on social media. I'm a bit tired of speaking. People are craving human connection. You guys are feeling that. You're all dropping twos in the chat. It's the first window. People during COVID, they were tired of one thing. They were tired of Zoom. Drop a three in the chat if you agree. Right? If you remember, like during the COVID time, you're like, oh, if there's another Zoom call, I'm going to lose my mind. There was like 82 Zoom calls a week happening in the organization. It's just like, there's just too many. You got Zoom fatigue. Well, in this window, there's social media fatigue. I feel it myself. Like it takes me 5 times more amount of energy to actually go onto social media and create something. Doesn't mean it's dead. It just means a lot of people are taking a little bit of a step back away from it because they're tired. Okay. So now guess where we're at? 2026. So this was, I would say, a flyer of a year of a 4-year cycle in network marketing. Oh my God, records were broken. However, I should probably put it in green. Sorry, because green for growth, red for dead, right? However, the last 4 years have been difficult. Drop a 4 in the chat if you felt it's been difficult. Right, it's been a difficult 4 year. I know I say 4 years. It might have been a difficult 1 year. Might have been a difficult 2 years. Might have been a difficult 4 years. Heck, it might felt like it's been a difficult 5 years. But there's a reason for that, as I've just explained, right? But the good news is 2026 is different, and we got 2026 till 2029, the end of 2029, which should technically be very good times, right? And how that's going to happen is we need to create an insane amount of trust. This is going to be the key word for the next 4 years. Trust. Trust. In politics, it's what? 4 more years. 4 more years. They get voted in for 4 more years, right? Well, I know and I feel it to my core, the network marketing is going to thrive beyond belief if we can create a massive amount of trust. How do you create trust? Tell the truth for long enough. Truth plus time equals trust. So here's how you ruin trust. You destroy trust by constantly changing. Now, sometimes you can't help this because maybe the company's going through transition. Maybe one product doesn't work in the market. Maybe they need to change the compensation plan. Maybe the price of the product needs to change because of inflation. There's loads of different reasons why to change that are out of your control. And because you can't control it, guess what? You don't blame it. You control what you can control. You improve what you can improve. All right. So I'm going to go through the 6 areas of awareness And these are six areas that you need to be aware of and you need to help your team become aware of. All right. So six areas that you need to be aware of and you need to help your team improve like the area of awareness on. All right. So number one is your product sector. Do me a favor, drop a one in the chat if you're a raving fan of your product. Raving fan means like you feel that you couldn't live without it. And you tell everyone you come in contact with about it. It won't be everyone, but it's a lot of you, right? So just because you're a raving fan doesn't mean other people in your team are raving fans. So what you have to do is you have to constantly educate yourself and the team about how cool the product sector is. So let's say, for example, you're in a product sector around keto. Are you talking about the ketogenic diet? Or are you just expecting people to love keto? If you're in the travel space, are you explaining to people how sexy the travel space is? And the one conversation people will always get excited about talking with their friends, whether they're talking or themselves are talking, is travel. If you're in the coffee space, let's just say, are you constantly talking about the numbers behind coffee? If you're in the wellness space or the weight loss space, are you constantly talking about the importance of high protein in the diet? Are you constantly talking about why it's essential that you have essential oils in the home? Whatever sector it might be, finance, crypto, are you constantly talking about the numbers and about the product sector it is? Because if people become raving fans of the product sector, they stay a user of the product. If I think of the billion-dollar companies, gas and electric, gas and electricity, utilities, there's credit repair. There's network marketing companies that deal with every single thing you can think of. You got to constantly talk about. If it's gas and electricity, you talk about the rising gas and electricity costs, right? You talk about it. You give history lessons, not history lessons, mini history lessons around like gas and electricity prices and where it's going in the future, blah, 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 blah. People have to fall in love with the topic. All right. If I think of the billion-dollar companies, guess what? They constantly talk about the product. Although you might find it boring, they do it on purpose because it helps people become raving fans. They're aware of how good the products are, world-class products. All right. Number two, I'm going to put the NM model. Who feels that drop a two in the chat if you feel that you are a raving fan of network marketing? Like you feel that like I love this model. I love how it's performance based. I love how it's commission only. I love how it's got an unlimited earning potential. I love that I can work from wherever I want. I do feel that sometimes I don't like it because I don't work at it enough and I don't get rewarded of it enough. I don't like that. That's your own fault. I also don't like that it's misunderstood. Right? I know you guys understand what I mean there. People misunderstand what it is. So you've got to consistently talk about why network marketing is a great model. Here's what I've realized over the years. If you make people fall in love with network marketing, they don't really leave like quickly. They might leave after like 10 years, maybe. They might leave after like 6 years, but them leaving after like 6 weeks, oh, I love network marketing, but like I'm quitting. No, they stay. So you have to raise awareness, your awareness, and other people's awareness. And there's loads of resources around there. There's loads of websites. I would say Direct Selling News, the DSN, is probably my favorite. It's run by a guy called Stuart Johnson, who is a legend, right? All right. Number three. This is my favorite one. And you're going to hate me because I say this all the time. The repeatable basics, which is in SAGA. There's big clues there with the conversations and the invitations and the informing and the serving, right? Okay, so conversations and the invitations and the informing of the presentations, let's say, and the serving, obviously the follow-up. I'm not going to write FU because that always looks bad, right? Like learn the basics, do the basics. Is that right, Senya? My friend, legend, right? The repeatable basics. Now, with 3 of the 6 areas in, right? Already, this is what people will do. start talking about their product sector or a product like the hero product, and then they will shift to another product and another product and another product. And remember, every single time you change, you lose a little bit of trust. Trust goes down. When you repeat the same thing over and over and over again, trust goes up. Change makes trust go down. Repetition makes trust go up. Hence why there's the saying, repetition is the mother of all. Fill in the blank. See if we've got any winners on here tonight. Repetition is the mother of all. Oh, no one's got it. Repetition is the mother of all skill, right? Repetition is the mother of all skill. It's the number one skill in this game. Repetition. How good are you at repeating the same message over and 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 over again? Skill is the number one skill. Repetition, right? So, repeatable basics. When it comes to repeatable basics, if you keep changing what the basics are, guess what? People start thinking or believing or distrusting that you know what you're talking about. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Weren't the basics this, this, and this last time? And now you're saying it's this, this, and this. Whoa. And now it's just happens to be this, this, and this. And now it's this, this, and this. Like, it keeps changing. Like, is it even working? Should we trust this guy? What are we doing? Right? How, guys, you give me a score out of 10. 1 being low, 10 being ridiculously high, on how much you think I believe in the basics inside of Saga because we spent the time to program them in. Like, we've actually spent an insane amount of money, time, and hours to build a page, that funnel page, like the Kanban view, the pipeline view, that has the basics involved in there, and everything's linked into that. Let's just change it, guys. You know what? Can we add an additional step in and change the last step? And then after the last step, we'll put an additional 2 steps after, and we'll just come up with a word for them. No. Scripts as well, right? Saying, yeah, exactly. Right. Anyway, I'll calm down a little bit. Okay. Number 4, time commitment. Let me know in the chat if you set X hours. Drop a 4 in the chat if you feel that you always do less than you set productively. So if you say I'm going to do 20 hours this week, drop a 4 in the chat if you feel that you do 19 hours or less productively. Because one thing I know in network marketing, a lot of people will say they're going to do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 hours in that week productively, meaning conversations, invitations, informing on presentations, serving and following up. And it's very, very, very rare that you find someone who does exactly what they said they were going to do. Very, very rare. So you have to be aware of the sweet spot. The sweet spot is around 15 hours a week. 15 hours a week of productivity will get you into personal momentum. Now, not after 1 week. It'll take a little bit of time, right? If you're someone who's like, well, I can't do 15 hours a week, then just understand you'll probably never get into personal momentum. You'll probably never get into personal momentum. Also, if you do more than 15 hours a week, it doesn't mean you'll get into personal momentum faster. It just means that you might get more results quicker. It doesn't mean that, oh, I'm just going to do 60 hours a week for 4 weeks and then I'll be in momentum. No. You've got to do 60 hours a week for as long as you can until you get into momentum. And you'll know you're in momentum, right? Do this one. Drop a 4 in the chat again if you feel like you're in some sort of momentum just because the year changed to 2026. It's the only time of the year where that happens. You have this like, oh my God, new year mean new year, new me energy. Like I'm fired up for some reason. I'm like super productive. Like first week of January, I'm going boom. I'm getting all my things on my to-do list. I'm speaking to all these people. I'm following all these people. You know what? The reality of the new year is so funny to me because I love it. But what it actually means is that the Earth has gone around the sun once. Can you imagine what it must be like for the higher power looking down at everyone on Earth going, woo, we did it! One lap of the sun. And they're looking down going, oh, isn't that isn't that cute in whatever language they speak, right? Like, ah, isn't that cute? Like, well done, guys. Congratulations on orbiting the sun once. Like, oh, so cute, right? It's funny, but we get fired up. We get fired up. It's the only time, and we have to take advantage of that. All right. Now, if you're only doing 5 hours a week, then you have to appreciate that you're probably going to be start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, get a little bit of results, get excited, get a little bit more. The idea is if you are working less than 15 hours a week, you have to appreciate that your goal is to get proof and evidence that what you are doing is worth it. That's the goal. You actually do yourself damage by doing 20 plus hours a week with no results. Because you're setting 20 hours a week, you're telling your family you're doing 20 hours a week, you're telling your partner and your friends that this is the thing that I'm doing full time, I'm 20 hours plus a week in it, and then you're only doing 4 hours a week productively, you're not getting the results that warrant 20 hours a week of work, and then you feel bad about it because other people make you feel bad. Oh, I think you're wasting your time doing that. So your goal, if you're doing less than 15 hours a week, is to find proof and evidence until you can then get to 15 hours a week. And you consistently do that, you will get some results, but eventually you will feel, oh my God, I feel I'm on fire. It could take 5 weeks, it could take 10 weeks, it could take 20 weeks, it could take 100 weeks. I don't know. I've not studied how many weeks it takes to get into momentum. I know the hour, but it depends on how like warm or welcoming you are to energy, right? Like, are you like, oh, I'm never going to get momentum, it's never going to work out for me, or are you like, are you like a magnet for miracles? Are you manifesting all these miracles? Are you a magnet for miracles, or are you like, nah, 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 I don't believe in that stuff? Woo, woo, woo. Right? Okay. So 15 hours a week will get you into personal momentum, which will help you get more results, which will then allow you to go up to 20 to 30 hours a week, which is not the sweet spot, but this means you can get results faster. Right? It doesn't mean you get momentum faster. It just means you get results faster. Consistency will get you into momentum. Right? All right. Yes, the word action is in the word attraction. Okay. Is this helping? Do me a favor, drop a 5 in the chat if this is helping. I know it's a little bit different, but it's important for the new year. This is all these things build trust because one of the biggest givers of trust and one of the biggest takers of trust. I mentioned the universe looking down, laughing, going, ah, oh, isn't that cute? They've gone around the sun. I joke around it, but I truly I believe in that. How many of you drop a 0 in the chat if you believe in it as well, like the law of attraction, a higher power, whether that's a God that you believe in, the universe that you believe in, whatever it is, right? You believe in it. Okay, great. Me too. I'm a true believer in the law of attraction. Today has been an unbelievable example of that. So I'm going to show you something that I've never showed anyone before. Are you cool with me doing this? I wasn't expecting to do this, but today is Russian Christmas, right? Orthodox Christmas. So like the Russians celebrate. My wife's Russian, right? And when we were in the UK, we were talking about Svetlana's dad. Unfortunately, Svetlana's dad passed away a few years ago, maybe 4 years ago, I think, coming up. Yeah, coming up to 4 years ago, I think. Time flies, man. And for some reason, Svetlana was cleaning out one of the boxes in my parents' home in the UK, so we left a load of stuff. And she found something that I was gifted when I went to Kazakhstan in 2013, I think. And the thing that I was gifted, it looks weird to me, but it was probably one of the most precious things I've ever had in my entire life. It's this. And it was gifted to me, and they explained to me that it's a money Buddha, right? And it's kind of ugly, right? Like it's made out of China. It's made out of China, but like it's a little money Buddha. And they said that this will bring you good luck in terms of finances. And as soon as I got it, that night, we did a presentation and her name, the person, someone joined the team and her name was Janat Nergalieva. I remember the name because she was so big. And she hit the top rank in the company in record time. She was a mom of three or four kids, single mom of three or four kids. She was making like 40 or $50,000 a month in like 6 months. And I had a binary compensation plan. She was in my weakest leg, right? Which is super cool. And it brought me so much luck. Anyway, we found it when we were in the UK, and I was like, I'm bringing that home. I don't know how we're bringing it back home, but I'm bringing it back home. And today, there's been like three or four things that happened back to back. I can't share what they are just yet, but they're life changing for me and Svetlana. Like three or four things that have happened back to back, all in this room, whilst this has been staring at me. And it's funny, it's probably not this thing, it's the manifestation. Like every time I see it, I think finance, money, success, right? Not in like a crude way, not in like a horrible way. It brings it top of mind. So anyway, so when I talk about the universe here, is when you tell the universe, when you tell yourself that you are going to do something, like I am going to do 20 hours this week, people are watching, but I haven't told anyone. The only person who knows is my Google Calendar and me. Oh yeah, and my husband because, or my wife, or my kids because, like, obviously they know that I'm doing this business, right? But the universe is watching. The universe, maybe it's a man, maybe it's a girl, maybe it's a group of people, a collective. I don't know. I don't know. But they're watching. And if you do the thing that you say you're going to do, they trust that you deserve success because you can handle it. If you don't do what you said you were going to do, they will distrust and they will feel that you do not deserve success because you won't be able to handle it. That's how it works. So if you do the thing you said you were going to do, they'll trust you. If you don't do the thing that you said you were going to do, they will not trust you. So if you know you're not going to do it, don't say you're going to do it, even if it's to yourself. Get real with how much time you actually are going to productively do and set that. And then look to increase half an hour a week, 1 hour a week. That's right. Our word is our reputation, 100%. And our word is our promise to the universe that we can take care of the success that it gives to us. Right? I've never known anyone in network marketing to say, I am going to work 20 hours a week until I reach the top until I reach the top. They work 12 hours a week on, a week off, a week on, a week off, and they get to the top and go, I made it! Woo! I did less than I thought I had to. Never met anyone like that in my entire life. Okay. Number 5 is the inner game. All right, let's play this game. Drop a 1 in the chat if you feel that you know what you need to do to build this business. Quite slow response. Yeah. And let me guess, you're thinking, well, I know I've got to speak to people. I know I've got to invite them and I've got to show them my presentation or my products. And I've just got to make sure I follow up with them to get an answer. Yes or no, right? You know what you got to do. All right. Now, drop a 2 in the chat if you feel that you're not doing enough of the thing that you know you need to do. Look how fast the 2s are coming in. And it doesn't matter where I go in the world, it's always the case. Always the case. Every single time. I know what I've got to do, but I'm not doing enough of it. And that means it's not a problem of how, it's more a problem of wow. So how being like, well, how do I do that? You already know what you got to do. It's more of a problem of like, wow, you've got to wake up and be like, wow, 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 wow about your business instead of wow, 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 wow. I really can't do this because of these things. I mean, those demons. We all have those demons. All the demons, demons. You know what? I don't want to write the word demons. These are all the demons, right? However, the demon is in your belief system, but these demons are things like fear of rejection, fear of success, fear of judgment, comparison, perfectionism, procrastination, low self-worth, imposter syndrome, misaligned identity, scarcity thinking, limited money beliefs, shame. Did I say fear? Did I say fear of failure? Oh my God. So in 2026, it's really, again, to build trust in yourself, it's really being aware of, you know what? I have a severe case of the fear of failure. I have a severe case of the fear of judgment. So that you can work on that step by step. How do you get over the fear of judgment? Stop judging other people. I think it's Mel Robbins' new book. I've not read it, but everyone says it's a good one. Or I think it's called Let Them Theory or Let Them. Yeah, Let Them. Just read that. Apparently, it's a good book around like not giving two poops about what other people think about you. Okay. Now, the last one of being aware of people. Now, there are two parts to this. The people who you want to help, who to help. This is branding. Now, if you go into the streets, if you go into your nearest city and go and walk down the streets, you can do what's known as prospecting. Prospecting means you can speak to anyone and everyone. Doesn't matter their age, their sex, their color, their height, their weight, does not matter. Right? It really does not matter. But online, you're marketing, and that matters. Like the who matters so much. I know there's a lot of people on this call who know exactly what to do when it comes to social media. They've got huge followings, they get huge engagement because they know who to help. A lot of them, though, are not doing enough of this. They're doing a lot of creating content, create, create, but not enough content, invite, presentations, follow-ups. In fact, this one, they're not doing enough of this. And that's an industry problem. People aren't doing enough presentations. You want one skill to improve on in network marketing in 2026? Become the best presenter in your company. Like, be the best presenter in your company. So much so that when people are walking down the hallways at your company convention, you hear this noise. Psst, psst, psst. And that's someone 100 meters away going to their friend. Psst, there he is. There's that Chris guy. He's unbelievable at doing the presentation. He's unbelievable. Oh my God, best I've ever seen. Because when you're good at something, guess what? You want to do it. I've got this new training that I kind of created when I went for a walk with Svetlana. I come up with loads of trainings when I go for a walk around the marina with Svetlana. Dubai, that's one thing that Dubai is legendary at. It's just an environment made for just accelerated growth. And I was saying that, isn't it funny? Because Svetlana's she was a pro figure ice skater. And I was saying to her, I said, isn't it funny that when you're really, really, really good at something, you want to do more of it and you want to be in that situation? So I said, like, you're really good at ice skating. She's like, yeah, but I've not really been on the ice for like 10 years or so. She went on the ice for Mia's birthday with Mia, but very, very briefly. But when you're really good at something, so you're really good at figure ice skating. Like, if you knew you were going to the ice in an hour to skate, how would you feel? She's like, I'd be buzzing, I'd be excited, I'd feel confident, I'd feel like this is my place. I'd see the other people ice skating and I'd be like, oh, that's cute. Watch this. Right? Like, there's just this big bravado. But if she was in a place like on the golf course, she would be nervous because she's a newbie, she's a beginner, she's just learning. And I want you to think in your life, where do you have that power? And I'm going to guess without looking at the comments. I'm putting my hand over the comments. I'm going to look this way. I'm going to guess for the mums out there, the one place you want to be or a goal that you have is to be at home to spend more time with your kids. That's going to be a guess that I would say is your place of power. I want to be at home with my kids. And that's a goal of yours. Why? Because that's a place of power for you. You know what? It's my identity. I'm I'm flipping good at being a mum. I love being with my kids because I have a little bit more power. If you're good at any sport, in fact, if you're really, really good at any sport, let me know what it is. Or if you're like really strong, you can mention the gym, for example. So if you're really good at dancing, there's a dance floor, you're on it. There's no way you're good at dancing and you don't touch the dance floor. You're like, oh, no, 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 no. Now, if you come up to me and say, come on, come for a dance, I'm like, I'm sat down because I don't dance because I'm crap at it. Anne, hey, Anne, hope you're doing good. Anne's really good at tennis. If me and Anne went for a casual walk and we passed the tennis court and there were two tennis rackets and a tube of balls, I said, Anne, should we go hit some? She'd be like, yeah, I'm in. So how do you create that power? One of the really good ones is being really good at presenting and speaking because you will just consistently find ways to present the business because you will have the power and power feels good. There's a reason why all these people who have millions of dollars and billions of dollars keep going. It's for power, right? It's where they feel comfortable and special and needed and accepted and necessary and valuable. All right. Do the things where you feel you've got the power. If you're really good at horse riding, go horse ride. It'll build your confidence. All right. Anyway. And then the next one, who to pour into. And this is a duplication thing. All right. This is a duplication thing. So when it comes to the 6 areas of awareness, you have to be aware, and obviously your team, who am I going to be helping on social media in 2026? And who am I going to be pouring into in 2026? You can't pour into everyone. There's that saying, isn't it? You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't pour into an empty cup. I'm going to kind of change that quote a little bit. You can't pour in, or you shouldn't pour into a cup that doesn't pour back into you. Imagine this visually. These are people that you've recruited. You've recruited 6 people, right? You've recruited 6 people, and these people represented cups, right? Now, this water bottle is my energy for the day. It doesn't matter how much is in here. It's an illustration, right? And I make a decision that I am going to pour into these people equally. I'm going to pour into these people equally. Now, I only refill my cup or my jug by doing 2 things. Number 1, going to sleep. And number 2, when I tell someone to do something, they do it. So I have Anne, Barbara, Claire, Derek, Eric, and Francesca. Anne doesn't do it. Barbara doesn't do it. Claire doesn't do it. Derek does it. Eric doesn't do it. Francesca doesn't do it. So I realized this. And I go on for weeks and weeks and weeks before I almost go to the hospital with a severe case of burnout because I cannot stand telling someone to do something and they simply do not do it and keep complaining. So what do? Stop pouring into Anne, Barbara. Oh, Claire, Eric, and Francesca, and you pour everything you've got into Derek until it overflows into the people that he brings in because he's actually doing the work. That's what you do. The goal is you shouldn't be working with any more than 15 people. It's funny how it's 15 people and 15 hours. I don't really know of anything else that's with the number 15. It's just funny how it works. You shouldn't work with, is it Dunbar's law? I think it could be Dunbar's law. I always get the name wrong. This is Dunbar's law. He recommends this, and it's true because it works in network marketing. All right. So who are the people that you're going to help on social media? And the answer can't be everyone. And then who are you going to pour into? You can't pour into everyone. You should work with a small number of people. Focus everywhere creates momentum nowhere. The more times you have to jump from someone to someone to someone to someone to someone, the harder it becomes. And this is how you build trust. Whoops. Oh my Lord, what's going on here? All right. Okay. So you build trust by helping people become aware of the product so that they trust the product sector. You talk about the network marketing model, the power of the network marketing model, so they trust the network marketing model. You keep talking about the repeatable basics, obviously inside of SAGA, so that they trust that the basics work. If they keep doing this thing, so many people will come to me and say, Frazer, just tell me exactly what to do and I'll do it. Guess what? You tell them exactly what to do, they do it for a week, and then they lose. Right? So once you've then trusted those three things, then you move on to the amount of time that you need to set. Listen, we need to get you to 15 hours a week. That's the sweet spot. I know you don't have that time right now. Let's start at 5. You're not going to get into momentum at 5. We need proof and evidence that it works so that you can go from 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 until eventually you can go, it makes sense me working an hour a night and a full day on the weekend. Right? Like an hour Monday to Friday, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I do an hour a day, and I do 9 hours on a Sunday, right? For example. Okay. Right. When you do that, you start to trust that it's actually worth your time. Then this is the hard one. This is the never ending, unteachable lesson, right? This is a never ending. Like, I don't feel like you can teach someone to get over fear of judgment. You just have to get through it. You have to just stop judging people until eventually you realize it doesn't matter what they think. Right? You can't, I wouldn't say you can teach it. I wouldn't wait until you master it. You just got to be aware of them. You got to be aware of the inner demons that you have so that you can go, listen, mate, not today. Okay. And then you got to be aware of the people who you want to help with branding, and then the people who you want to pour into for duplication. Those are the areas of awareness to build trust in 2026. Now, if you want an assignment, drop a 7 in the chat if you want an assignment or a challenge, just to get something a bit more tactical for you guys as well. Although remember, it's a game of wow, not how. Because every single time, let's listen to this one. Every single time you learn a new how, Dunbar's number, there we go. Every single time you learn a new how, although you get super excited, you trust yourself a little bit less. Because every single time you get excited about a new how, it's discrediting the current how. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't succeed, because they keep changing the things that they're doing instead of focusing on the things that work over and over and over again. Okay, so wow, not how. All right, so here we go. It's a big one. To make 1,000 posts on your feed, let's say feed posts, on one platform in 2026. Now, although the idea is to post 1,000 times in 2026, the real goal behind this is that you post so much that you eventually find your niche very quickly. And this is what I would recommend. Month 1, you post 3 times a day. Month two, you post twice a day and you use one post from month one. Oops, let's go equal sign on this, right? And then in the third month, you post once a day. You move one post from month one, and you move, sorry, from month one, and you move one post from month two. I messed up the arrows there. Feed posts, feed posts. No stories. Stories would be super easy to do, but then the only people who see your stories are your followers. I know there's the sharing function now, but people aren't using it yet because they're not used to it, right? So by doing that, you're actually doing like 90, 60, 30, which is what, 180 posts in 90 days. Right? It's not that much. The majority of, and I would tell you, if it overwhelms you because it takes too long, then you're posting the wrong things. Right? And again, the idea is in these 180 posts that you do, like new posts, to find 3 to 5 outliers. Find 3 to 5 outliers. These are the outliers that like they perform way better than anything else. That will basically tell you and dictate you. The algorithm will say to you, please do other versions of these. Please do other versions. Now, what do you actually talk about? Who do you want to help? That's question one. Like, who do you want to help? What do you want to help with? What do you want to help these people with? I want to help mums travel more. Okay, great. And give travel tips for mums. But you are going to need the only thing that matters when it comes to the only thing that matters when it comes to content. You could create the best valuable piece of content ever from second 7 to 27, and no one even sees it because the hook is awful. The hook is, oh, hi, if you're watching this, then I've got a really good I've got a good tip for you today. And then you nail it from 7 seconds to 27 seconds. How do you get better at social media? Guess what? Get better at presenting and speaking. It'll flow much more. You'll be way more creative. All right. So who do you want to help? What do you want to help them with? And then create a very, very few number of hooks. That way the outliers will become more obvious. The hook is the most important thing. All right, guys. So I hope you got some value from that. I really, really do. I'm looking forward to our next session that we do soon. This year, again, I've mentioned it enough, but this year is going to be a phenomenal year, but it's all about building trust. It's all about building trust within ourselves and trust from the people around us. If we do that, we'll do well. We really will. And I genuinely believe that 2026 to 2029 will be a better cycle than 2019 to 2022. I've set huge goals and huge visions for 2030. That's where because I do 5 years. I do from 2020 to 2025, 2025 to 2030. So I always do that every single year. All right, guys. Big love to each and every single one of you. Sasha, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys all have an amazing start to the year. Let's crush it. And we'll see you soon. All right. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye. Sasha, I don't know if you've got anything to say or we close out, but I'm done.